Hello, everybody. This is the first recording of mine since 2026 began, and it's the 3rd of January. And the topic for today is water, but not just any water, magic water, which is all water. And about 9 reasons why I consider water is magic. It's the essence of life. Without water, we're all non existent, of course. Without sunlight, without that external energy, without the minerals, and without the deep geologic slash evolutionary time, we're all non existent. We all get all that. But water's the thing, the largest by weight of our bodies. Good old water covers 3/4 of the planet at the moment. Water. But why it's magic is just that those phase changes between being a liquid and a gas and a solid are truly wondrous in terms of the life that's been able to slowly evolve, firstly in water and then as a water holding membrane when we started to become cellular in the evolutionary story. The whole thing about water is just terrific between when it's warm enough and the different pressures involved between the water surface and the atmosphere as such that the water can evaporate and bounce around as little H2O molecules in the air until stuff happens and it gets cooler over land or whatever, all those convective stories of air movement and the spinning earth. And that water then goes up and becomes visible to us as cloud. And then, even more magically, at some later time, it falls down as rain. And then we get it in our tanks and in our dams and on our landscapes and surface water runoff. And then at different times, it's going, oh, geez, it's cold. Uh, and it just go boof and it shrinks a whole lot, not only from water vapor uh, into water, great lot of shrinkage and thus low pressure systems associated with rain. And the opposite is just that a whole lot of water vapor becomes much more dense as falling water droplets, and around it goes. So that natural cycle, the hydrological cycle, just perfect. If it was much hotter, if it was much colder, and so it's like literally just right for life to have evolved and continue flourishing. And then when it gets a bit too bored, slash the temperature gets down near 0 centigrade, it just goes, we're sick of bouncing around liquid. That's fine. We're definitely sick of bouncing around big energized or whatever is water vapor. We're going hard. We're going to bond up with our nearest mates and we're just going to lock it down. And that's the ice. And the final magic thing about water is, as far as we human brainheads know, of all of the different substances, minerals, elements, whatever, water's the one that if you want to heat it through 1 degree centigrade or whatever your units, if you want to heat a certain mass of whatever by whatever degrees of heat, centigrade measurements that you have, then water takes more energy to absorb to change its temperature per gram or kilogram or whatever than any other substance. So the idea of thermal mass, water, heat retention, um, so water's not only absolutely a key and major part of what our lives as a species, as an ecology are, from the lyrebird to the little earthworm that gets eaten by the composting lyrebirds, and so on and so forth. All of those life forms, all within that hydrological cycle and the magic 3 phases of water at just the right temperatures for biology to happen, and so on. And that's the first one. Welcome to Ding Gravelhead 2026, January 3.